My name is Willis Lamb, Field Supervisor of the LRTC Technical Large Animal Rescue Team in northwestern Nevada. We are an all-risks team that covers multiple counties and responds to an average of over 500 incidents per year. In this presentation, we will cover a critical subject area, operational safety. Our responses often involve risks. As volunteers, we accept a certain degree of risk. However, it's incumbent on everyone to minimize those risks, both for everyone involved and for the success of the mission. Therefore, safety is always our number one priority. In general, safety is divided into three concepts: safety culture, animal safety, and operational safety. Highway safety and trailer safety are covered in separate videos. Safety begins with our organization's underlying safety culture. We train on all aspects of safety, including protocols and best practices. During complex incidents, we may have a designated safety officer, but safety is everyone's obligation. We're all safety officers. To that end, we have hard and fast safety protocols that need to be followed to the greatest extent practicable. Priority number one is to yourself. You can't be a hero if you become part of the emergency, and even a relatively minor safety issue could impact the overall orderliness and success of the mission. Number two is to your crew, and that includes our response partners who may be present at the scene and who may not be trained to our level of expertise. Number three is to the public who are present. We clearly don't want anyone to get hurt or compromised, and with civilians, safety could include awareness of environmental conditions or issues that occurred prior to our arrival that could impact their health and welfare. Our final priority is to the animals themselves. If we can accomplish the first three objectives, we should be able to conclude the incident without causing further harm to the animals. Animal safety involves two intertwined elements. The most important element involves people not getting hurt by the animals. The second element involves avoiding the animal reacting during our operations and hurting itself. We have to do everything possible to address both. Most livestock, particularly horses, are prey animals. They evolved to avoid being eaten by predators. Humans are a predator species. Therefore, the very nature of our behavior can be unsettling. Our first task is to be as unpredator-like as we can and be somewhat reassuring when the animal goes on alert. We do this by managing our body language. Chatting at the animal like a pack of coyotes yipping can increase the level of stress and reactivity. Quiet, non-threatening movements can start things on the right path. Unless we want the animals to move away, by not behaving in a threatening manner, we can now enter the fear zone safely. With horses in particular, where we approach can influence behavior and reactivity. In most cases, the shoulder area is most compatible. In this image, it's recommended to approach from the left, as that's how domestic horses are generally handled and halters applied. With range animals, we'll want to approach from whatever side they present the least aversion to us. By establishing this relationship, we can usually approach the animal and it will stay calm as we're resolving the issue. In this clip, a range stallion got completely entangled in a nest of an abandoned fence. Kevin had to approach the stallion with low-stress, quiet confidence in order for the horse to remain quiet as he cut the material away from the horse's legs, constantly reading the horse to avoid movement that could be unsettling.
It's all a matter of energy. Nice work, Kevin.
In a perfect world, as this image from Australia illustrates, we could shield the animal from outside influences and work in a safe environment. In reality, there are numerous sources of undesirable energy that we need to manage. These sources could include owners and spectators who may be emotional and/or whose body movements can be disturbing. Responders who are clumsy with gear can produce reactions. Responders who are distracted or chit-chatting and not listening can be a problem. We start out with a plan, but sometimes we have to call audibles, and someone in charge having to shout to get a responder's attention is not calming to the animal. While a horse may have developed a calm relationship with primary rescuers, we have to always be aware that pain or outside influences could cause a reaction. We have to maintain safe positions relative to kill zones, primarily potentially moving hooves and teeth. Even a simple, please back off shove from a horse's hoof can cause injury to someone standing or working in a kill zone. Just stay away from hooves and teeth. Scene security is a critical element. We have to establish boundaries around our workspace. Tools and gear should be cached nearby, but not in the hot zone and not where responders could trip over them. Ideally, someone who is not hands-on would manage the tool cache. Law enforcement and fire rescue can also help maintain operational boundaries. Law enforcement can actively prevent civilians and owners from interfering. On and alongside highways and freeways, it is critical that law enforcement be present to manage traffic and to maintain operational safety. Incident control dispatchers have the responsibility of accounting for all members responding to and returning from incidents, basically any time that members are not at scene under the direction of an incident commander. Depending upon the size of the incident, accountability can be challenging to dispatchers. Responding members need to check in via the designated communications process when they respond, arrive on scene, and have cleared the incident. At night and during inclement weather, members should also advise the dispatcher when they have arrived safely at home. Members driving rescue vehicles or towing trailers need to advise the dispatcher anytime the equipment is back in quarters and back in service. How we operate at the scene is a critical safety factor. Members are under the direction of the incident control dispatcher until they report as having arrived on scene. At this point, our on-scene protocols apply. While we function as a team, we have to have an on-scene hierarchy. Our preferred methodology is to hold a quick briefing so everyone is on board with the plan, who they work for, and their roles or assignments. The briefing is a time to discuss alternatives and whether a member is comfortable with his or her assignment. We have a chain of command in the sense that a specific person is now in charge, the incident commander, and team or task leaders will take directions from the IC. We perform work under the principle of unity of command. That simply means that you don't answer to multiple bosses. You work under the person who you are assigned to work under, while understanding that your assignment could change based on incident circumstances. If you are reassigned, your former supervisor knows that you've been assigned to another task as you will now be working under someone else. Freelancing can disrupt an orderly operation. If you see something amiss, you don't think you can complete an assignment, or possibly have a better approach, simply tell your supervisor. If you observe a potentially serious safety issue, call for an all stop. During an all stop, all activities will cease until the safety issue is resolved. Personal safety starts with responding to an incident with proper gear, helmet, reflective outerwear, appropriate clothing and shoes, gloves, and a handheld radio if one is issued to you. This gear needs to be worn upon exiting your vehicle and throughout the operational phases of the incident, and also at any time on or near an active roadway or highway. Personal safety also involves situational awareness. Avoid distractions and stay focused on what is happening and how the events that are taking place could present avoidable hazards. Environmental stress is a safety issue. Any member experiencing the impacts of excessive heat or cold should report to his or her supervisor the need to discontinue and go for rehab. The safety officer or a competent member should be assigned to ensure that the member experiencing these difficulties is provided with the necessary shelter and supplies to rehab effectively. This video is provided solely for orientation and to illustrate our equipment and practices that we have found useful. Persons inexperienced with these activities should receive competent instruction and have sufficient practice to operate safely and confidently when under pressure. And thanks for watching this video. We hope that it has provided you with some useful material. For more information, please visit lrtcrescue.org.